Why the hell do you have all those people on payroll if you're sitting in everyone's seat doing their job?
Shut up. I'm
Shout.
very busy right
That's
now.
literally
I'm
what it
very
was.
busy. I am completely egoless, when it comes to the conversation of should I even be the CEO of this company? I don't give a shit
Yeah.
about it.
I went to the staff and I said, it occurred to me that I'm doing your jobs. As of today, I'm firing myself
But you say that business owners are generally the bottleneck in their own business.
almost every time.
Were you ever the bottleneck in your own business?
Fuck yes, I have. I
Okay.
mean, I spent about 8 years, maybe 7 years being the bottleneck of my business. You're the only one who could deal with the complicated customer. You're the only one who could deal with the payroll issue. I don't think I'm the right person for CEO anymore.
You put clients first and Google second. Why does it actually work?
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
Okay.
I think
All right, welcome back to The Formula. I'm Peter Roth, and I get founders who built big things to expose their actual formulas. The marketing, the software, the coaches, no fluff, whatever made them rich. So grab a pen. My guest today is Ryan Redding. He built a marketing agency so dialed into plumbers and HVAC contractors that his name became synonymous with an $8.5 million success story. Then sold the whole thing and walked away. He founded Levergy, grew it into a go-to digital agency for home services. He engineered an acquisition by Kickcharge Creative and now runs Eightfold Advantage, where he helps founders scale without becoming the bottleneck. This conversation is a masterclass in building to exit and what comes after. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
Dude, it's crazy to me that we are kind of neighbors,
Yeah.
and I had no idea. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it's nice. I don't often get an opportunity to meet people in
Yeah,
the
sure.
Denver market. So I've been so insular in the Denver market that it's like, I feel like if I want to meet interesting people, it's like I have to leave Denver. So it's really refreshing
It is
to
awesome to be
meet
here.
people here in the Denver market who are doing similar things, and we can share stories about making brisket.
100% brisket. all the way.
That's really the best part of the whole conversation.
This is a great conversation.
Yeah.
Let's start cooking.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. All right. You went from running a marketing agency for plumbers and HVAC to selling the whole thing. What was it that made you decide to sell?
That's an interesting question. So, I think any time you're trying to grow a business, I think in the back of your mind is like, what's the exit plan? Like, what's the offering?
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people want to like engineer and build from the ground up to sell. I didn't really have this exit plan in mind. Right.
Same. Yep.
Yeah. But I knew that the path that I needed to make to run the business well was the same steps I had to take if I wanted to exit at my own timing.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, cool. It went through the process of getting myself out of the day to day, centralizing myself out of all ops. So now I'm an optional benefit in the business so that if an opportunity came up to sell, I can choose that window based on a variety of factors that make sense, not because I'm running out of energy or my health took a turn or cash flow is a struggle. Right. So part of it was just making the business viable without me so that now it's built to own and maintain versus built to exit. Once that happened, then it's cool. Now I can pick and choose when the opportunities come up. And look, the thing about marketing is everyone that's both those companies on, dude, I don't know how many PE conversations I had with companies wanting me to like consider an exit. All of them are pretty easy to ignore until the one that actually mattered. So then you start having the right partner come up. They start having the right conversations. You see the right synergies. You're like, this won't come around again. So luckily, all the hard stuff that people do when they're starting to prep the exit, I didn't have to worry about. It was already done. Legal structure was already ready. Leadership team was already set up. Now it was just executing documents and integrating teams and payroll processes and all the stuff. And Bob's your uncle.
See, that's so funny. I feel like you had you were so much further ahead of the game than I was. I always kind of I'm almost kind of embarrassed to admit because I got into business when I feel like I was a kid. I was 24 years old
Yeah.
when I got
You
into
were a kid.
business. Yeah. I
all
didn't know jack shit about,
Yeah.
you don't know shit about business. All you know is buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Which is a thing.
That's it. That's all you know.
Yeah.
But like when you're 24 years old, especially like, when I got started in business, that would have been like the early 2000s. At least then, private equity wasn't even like a term that was floating around the conversation, like in the sphere.
Yeah.
It was just those words meant nothing to me. And they especially mean nothing to a 24-year-old, especially pre-internet.
Yeah.
Like pre-social media. Like now, private equity is like the buzzword of this, of the decade. And it's just in the ethos. And you can't, if you're at all, paying attention to the business world, you can't help but hear the term private equity. So it's like you start paying attention, and you already hear is associated with big exits and big paydays. Well, that didn't exist, in the early 2000s. I started a business in 2001. Yeah, 2001 is when I started business, 25 years ago. And so that stuff wasn't floating in the air.
Yeah.
So like I just built a business just to make money. That's it. Like it was just to pay bills and live a decent life.
Yeah.
and work 80 hours instead of 40,
Yeah, yeah.
like the old saying goes. But I never thought, so I'm just, I'm curious. So like, how long were you in your business before you decided to sell? How long did you own the business?
I was in the business start to finish about 9 years.
That's a good period of time.
It was a chunk of time. And what's crazy to me is uh, I didn't start off like you had this like, well, I'm gonna start to make money.
Mm.
Cool. A lot of people start with like a business plan or whatever else. I didn't have that. I literally just started by helping one person and then helping another, helping another. And
Yeah.
then at one point, someone's like, dude, you should just do people like just like me. Right. I didn't have this plan to build a business. I didn't have the plan to like have all this.
Yeah.
It just kind of accidentally kind of
Yeah.
evolved that way.
That's cool.
And so, okay, let's figure this out as we go. But 100%, I think part of learning how to navigate the building, the designing the team that actually doesn't require you to be in it at all, to be able to actually make it where it is sellable or it is keepable, which kind of have the same paths available to them. Uh, Both of them, I think, were really important for me to make sure that I had the quality of life I want on the terms I want, so I could spend with the people I want,
Mhm.
with the time I have left, and not just spinning around trying to make stuff work.
The first time I ever even thought about the notion of selling a business was, I think a friend of mine just recommended the book Built to Sell.
Mhm.
And that
Great
was the
book.
first time I ever like that was the first time that the notion even entered into my into my brain.
Yeah.
Up until then, it was just like, it didn't even occur to me people sell businesses. I just thought people build businesses to make money, and
Sure.
that's just, it just dies there. Like that's
Yeah,
just the end of the
it's their
conversation.
job that
It's
they
just the
own.
end of the
Yeah, yeah.
conversation, and you just
Right.
die with the business one day. Like it just never occurred to me that like, and I always thought that those people who sell businesses, oh, they must be really smart. They must know something that I don't know. There must be some magical formula to selling it. But it
Almost never.
didn't occur to me that it's like, it's like selling your house or
Yeah.
a car. Like you just, you
Yeah.
link up with a broker or an investment banker, and you just go to town.
Yeah.
So, all right, this one may sting some business owners, but you say that business owners are generally the bottleneck in their own business.
Almost every time.
Were you ever the bottleneck in your own business?
Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Fuck yes, I have. I
Okay.
mean, I spent about 8 years, maybe 7 years being the bottleneck of my business.
Tell me why.
So at its peak, so this is probably 2020-ish, 2021. We were growing like gangbusters. I probably had 70 something people on payroll.
Uh-huh.
I could not hire people fast enough with the amount of clients that we were onboarding. It was just an insane growth curve. I was working 90, 100 hours a week. Um, and I remember like going to my kids' soccer games, taking my laptop, punching away, just catching up on emails and Slack and stuff on my laptop and kids' soccer. So I was there, but I wasn't there.
Mhm.
Um, and I remember talking to a friend of mine. This is like probably at the peak of like the grind culture. I was talking to a friend of mine. I was flexing about, got all these people on payroll and I'm doing 90 hours a
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
And I never forget. He goes,
yeah. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's like, why the hell do you have all those people on payroll if you're sitting in everyone's seat doing their job? I went, fuck.
And you're like, shut up, asshole. Like, let me feel good about feeling busy.
It
Let me
seriously,
feel good about saying I'm very busy.
it was a very disruptive
Shut up, I'm
challenge.
very busy right
That's
now.
literally
I'm
what
very
it was.
busy. Do you see how busy I am?
The thing that I was proud about, right?
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And what was
And you
crazy,
took pride in the fact I'm very, very busy.
yeah, look at how busy.
Look how
Look at how
busy
many
I am.
hours. Look how many people.
I'm so busy.
And
Honey, leave me alone. I'm
yeah.
very busy.
I'm doing this thing, guys.
Yes.
And so we had, what's crazy, we had a staff meeting scheduled for the next day, just already on the books. But what he said to me was so disturbing. I went to the staff and I said, okay, it occurred to me that I'm sitting in everyone else's seats. I'm doing your jobs. You're all very smart, capable people. As of today, I'm firing myself. You break it, you fix it. I'm going to Napa. And I went to Napa for 3 weeks.
Hell yeah.
And it was, for me, it was like a necessary sort of like,
Were
I
you
had
scared to shit? Were you
oh,
scared?
fuck
Were
yeah.
you like
Dude, why wouldn't you be?
freaking out?
And it's freaking out because I think the hardest thing that I wasn't prepared for was like the stress tolerance to let other people learn how to respond to putting out their own fire.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm used to like preventing the fire or jumping in and saving the day.
Of course.
But now it's like I have to learn the stress tolerance of like, let it burn.
Yeah.
Let other people feel the stress of it burning.
Bingo.
Let other people learn through that experience.
Bingo.
And so what started off as like a 3-week trial became let's try 3 weeks. Now let's try 4. Now let's try 2 months. And just like slowly stress testing, where's the point of failure? Fix those things, stress, step away again. Where's the break again?
I love this.
And it just became a way to,
I just learned something from you right now. I love this, that the fact that you kind of did it in increments. You're like,
Yeah.
let me run away for 3 weeks
Yep.
and just let them figure it out.
Yep.
And there may be a few
There absolutely was.
yeah, there's going to be some problems here and there, but that's the point. Like,
The
they'll figure
problems
it
are the
out.
good thing,
Yeah, that's right. How
right?
else are you
You
going
can
to know?
fix it.
Yeah, yeah,
And so, yeah, it was realizing that I was the bottleneck. I
yeah.
was the default project manager, client manager, product success person. I was the default quality checks. I was the guy.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden I had to force myself to not be. So for me, it kind of worked out. Going to Napa was a way to physically remove myself from the org chart,
Uh-huh.
from all the comm path.
Uh-huh.
But it gave me a way to medicate while I was there. Cause like you're forced to sit in these wineries and beautiful green orchards and
Yeah.
drink wine slowly and intentionally. It was a
Almost
therapeutic,
meditatively, right? Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, yeah.
right? So it's like this weird dichotomy of knowing stuff's on fire, but people are figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I'm sipping on wine at
Yeah. You're like,
Fingers crossed, right?
fuck it.
Yep. So it was, yeah, I absolutely was the bottleneck. And I think what I've learned since then is that I think that's true at all stages of the business. I think,
Yeah. It never stops. It
right?
never goes away. You just get
And
better and better.
you
Yeah.
get better, you raise the bar, the
Yeah. Yeah.
business grows up around you, and then now you've got another ceiling you've
That's right.
created.
That's right.
And I think I've also come to learn that not only is it like skills or like workflow or task management, it's also like temperament.
Mhm.
It's like relationship skills. So if someone is, I feel like a lot of leaders are like avoidant as fuck. They get passive aggressive, they get really combative, they start throwing wrenches and stuff, trying to throw ego around.
Mhm.
Like that will be a limiting factor. They will never grow a team
Mhm.
that thrives beyond that avoidance and that personality trait, right? So they're like, it's more than just, are you smart enough? Do you have the right tools? Do you have the right finance? Like, it's also like, are you the best caliber human and leader showing up for what the business needs then?
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're slowing everyone else down.
That's a big ego thing. I mean, look, I've never given a shit. When I get to the point where I think I'm going to be ready to exit, which I'm hoping is a couple 3 years, I am completely egoless. When it comes to the conversation of should I even be the CEO of this company? I don't give a shit if
Yeah.
I hope I'm not.
Yeah.
I hope I'm not. Let someone else deal with the headaches.
I remember the first time I asked myself, like, I don't think I'm the right person for CEO anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a very self-aware sort of thing to go,
Well, because I don't remember who said this, but it's like, when you become $1 million a year company, it's because you've solved $500,000 a year problem.
yeah,
When you become a $5 million a year company, it's because you've solved $1 million a year
yeah,
problems. And that just keeps
yeah,
continuing to elevate. And you can't get to the 10, $100 million elevation until you've solved the previous challenges from the previous level. And so, but there has to come a point of self-awareness where you're like, "Oh, I'm not that guy.
yeah,
I've never solved $10 million a year
yeah.
problems, and I'm not about to. I can't effectively do it now in the time frame that I need to be able to do it now to serve my company with what it deserves."
And that's a level of awareness most people, I don't think, get to. I think they get to the point of they just want to keep doing more of whatever they did that got them
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
right? They sold enough roofs,
yeah.
right? They
I gotta have CEO in my title, or
yeah, and it's like
yeah,
cool, but I mean, almost every time the thing that's required to get you from 1 to 5 or 5 to 10 or 10 to 50,
Mhm.
those are very different skills,
1,000%,
right?
thousand
And
percent. I'm learning that.
yeah,
I mean, every step of the way.
and I think people just like just do more of whatever you
Yeah,
do. And
that's
nope,
no.
you're gonna struggle for a long
Okay,
time.
what's the biggest lie that digital marketing agencies keep telling small business owners?
Oh, that's a tough one. Okay, so I think there's a lot of digital marketing agencies who are full of shit, who sell snake oil,
Yeah,
and people want to believe the hype. They want to believe the grass is greener somewhere else.
yeah,
I think the biggest lie is probably that there is an easy button, that there's a one size fits all
yeah.
uh, approach to marketing in general.
Mhm.
Um, I think that that's just not true. I think that's a lazy way to think about growing a business. I think it's a lazy way to think about outsourcing marketing. So I probably think the biggest lie is that it's so easy. All you have to do is ABC, push this button, whatever, and magically all your woes are solved.
My problems are still hard. You must be the wrong marketing agency for
Yeah,
me. You're fired. I'm going to go to a new marketing
dude,
agency.
that was the one of the things about a marketing is that so many of the successes we had were not because we did marketing better, but we learned how to integrate with their ops better,
Bingo. Thank
right?
you. I say this over and over and over again, like, because, what you and I do is so different in terms of the marketing strategies that, you're doing warm inbound, I'm
Yep,
doing cold outreach,
yep,
right?
yep,
Two wildly different
yep,
sides of the same coin, but wildly different. And a lot of
yep.
people don't understand that. They just think, well, a lead's a lead. And you're like,
No,
no, no, no, no, no, no, no, no,
no.
it's not. And here's the most obvious example, which I'm sure you'll know. Like, roofing is a fantastic example because roofing is an industry that it could come from door knocking,
Mhm.
right? You could have built a team based on door knockers, which is a wildly different beast than people who have been spoon-fed warm inbound leads their whole life. These are two
100%,
wildly different types of people.
100%.
And if you try giving one to the other and the other to the other, and they're not used to it,
Yeah,
they're going to blow it up in your face.
yep,
Especially like if you try giving these guys, cold outreach leads, they're going to be like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? Like,
yeah,
I'm not used to this. This is nothing like what
yeah.
I'm used to. But if you give it to the door knocking guys, they're like, oh, this is my bread and butter.
Oh, they'll crack that
Oh,
down
I know how to deal with this all day
all day.
long. Like, now you're speaking my language. And so I have to have this conversation, because we build call centers, right? And so I have to talk to business owners all the time. And one of the first questions I ask is like, tell me about your culture. Like, tell me, like, who are you, where are you from? Did you ever door knock? Did you ever do anything like that? Did any of your guys? No? Okay, well, let's have a conversation. This is
Yeah,
going to feel different.
yeah,
This is going to behave differently. You may not, this may come as a bit of a culture shock to you. So, like, and I know you see this in your own business, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's true. It's true even on the inbound side. Like even if you get like a perfect ideal warm inbound lead, one of my most annoying things, like we would listen to calls, right? That's the one thing about digitals. Like we can track start to finish, we can track every part. So we'd listen to calls and somebody would ask, like, how much is a water heater? Right. That is a perfectly normal, common sense question that a customer would have
Mhm, mhm,
when they have cold water, right? They just want a hot shower. Uh, and I can't tell you how many times I'd hear a CSR or a business owner be like, well, it depends, we have to come out. And then they would mark it in their software. If they were using Service Titan or Jobber or House Call, they'd mark it like
mhm,
not a qualified lead
mhm.
because they asked a pricing question. Like, okay, bullshit. Like that's a legit customer question. They have no,
Absolutely, it
like,
is. Yeah.
they're not wrong. They're not stupid. They're not wasting your time. They don't know.
Yeah.
So learning how to teach and work with companies to go, customers should not know your industry. They should not know how much it costs to clean like your siding,
Mhm.
right? Or to drop new asphalt. They shouldn't know those things. You do. All they know is their pain. All they know is their experience. And you have to navigate that. And the people who can navigate the warm well are not the same skills as the people who can navigate the cold that they're fetching and drumming up, right? The,
Mhm,
the
mhm,
hunter type, like
mhm.
that is not my personality type, but the people who are that have that, dude, they thrive.
Yep.
They thrive in those environments.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but like I get giddy when I'm talking to a company and they come from a team of door knockers because I know they have thick skin.
Yeah.
Like I know they're not sorry,
Yeah.
they're not spoiled. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna have a much higher tolerance for everything.
They
They'll
look for the no's. They're comfortable with the no's
yes,
because they know the no is required for the yes.
that's the conversation
A
starter.
hundred
That's where
percent.
the conversation
Like that's
starts.
you're just starting.
You go for no.
Yeah.
That's just the start of the
On a
conversation.
warm lead, you're like, they said no.
They said no.
You're like,
It's a bad lead. You
like
sent me a bad lead.
this is bonkers.
Yeah, come on,
So
guys.
you can't cross
Have
the
you
street.
ever said yes to anything on the first ask? No, that's how we're wired. We're wired
Yeah.
to say no 2 or 3 times
Yeah.
because we want to feel in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Okay. You put clients first and Google second, right?
Yeah.
In an SEO business, that sounds like like career suicide. So, but why does it actually work?
I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
Okay.
I think the problem right now in this era of AI, it's very different than what it was like 2 years ago. But Google has a philosophy of they want to provide the term that Google uses is helpful human first content.
Mhm.
They want it to be unique. They don't want it to be the same bullshit that everyone else says. They want it to be the same sort of easy information, that's low quality that everyone has access to when they do a Google. They want to know that you have a high degree of specialty and knowledge and insight and experience with whatever you do,
Mhm.
right? So they want to know. There's a client I worked with in Central Park in Denver, which is like this cool kind of all the homes are the same sort of 4 or 5
Mhm.
designs of homes.
Mhm.
But one of our client was a cleaning company. So they knew exactly this is this floor plan, this is this floor plan. They knew exactly what gear to bring, how long it was going to take, what issues they're going to have with plumbing, roofing, siding, whatever. So when they would write content, blog content, video content, when they would put stuff out on TikTok, it could be hyper specialized to the community they
Yeah.
serviced. There's no part about that that felt unique or common or everyone has access to the same information. So when you do that, turns out Google loves it.
Yeah. Oh
right?
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So when you focus on the people, when you focus on giving people the most helpful, most unique, most non-copy paste information available freely, like freely try to make their lives better.
Mhm.
Google sees you as an expert. All the AI crawlers see you as an expert. Everyone else follows what those things are doing at this point, right?
Mhm.
So eventually Bing's going to catch up. Eventually DuckDuckGo is going to catch up. Whatever sort of mechanism people are using to discover you, they will follow what is helpful to an average human,
Mhm.
not the algorithm. You're not
Mhm.
trying to game a system. Focus on the human. If you do that, you're going to, like, whatever the trends are with AI, whatever the trends are with any sort of algorithmic advantage, those things kind of get smoothed out because the people, at the end of the day, business is about people,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And we forget about that. It's just, it's much more simple than we want it to be.
I think we should just remove the word algorithm from our vocabulary and just rename it with just humans.
If we
What do
focus on
humans
humans,
want?
and that's
The
true with
algorithm wants exactly what humans want.
100%,
Designed to mimic what humans want.
100%.
Yeah.
That's how you answer the phone. That's how you brand
Yes.
your company. It's not just what do you put on a website or what do you put on YouTube, right? It's a very holistic sort of thing, including like if someone's in your house, interact with them the way a human want to interact. The same company, they bring in like spot cleaning supplies. And the first conversation they have with the customer is like, they're literally looking for pet stains on the carpet while they're there and just casually in the midst of their initial conversation, just cleaning up pet stains. They're just like adding value,
Mhm.
no money exchange, not being asked. It's the craziest thing. Focus
Love
on
it.
the people.
So simple, and yet so many people don't do it.
Yeah.
What did you learn running Leveragey that you now teach your consulting clients to avoid?
Uh, Feeling like you have to do all the things. Like that's really probably the big thing.
What do you mean?
Um, a lot of times I think when you own a business or you're high up in a business, you feel like you're the only one who can do this. You're the only one who could deal with the complicated customer. You're the only one who could deal with the payroll issue. You're the only one who could deal with fill in a blank. You're not. Turns out most people aren't really good at those things. They just feel like they don't have anyone that they can trust to delegate and offload that to, or to elevate someone up so they can actually take that on themselves and learn it.
Mhm.
So part of it's just like learning. There are people who love to do and thrive to do the stuff you don't want to do and you suck at.
Mhm.
That's a weird pill to swallow. So for me, one of the things is learning. I'm not the best at project management.
Mhm.
I'm not the best at ops. I'm not the best at leaning and SOP. I'm not the best at those.
Mhm.
I'm good. Like I can outwork most people.
Yeah.
There are people who are way better than I was.
They actually like doing it.
They love it. They nerd out on it.
Entrepreneurs like you and I just severely dislike that
It's
kind
not our
of
thing.
stuff. Yeah, it's not our
Just like when I hired our director of operations, I hired him away from Tesla because he did it at such a level. Yeah. I liked that it was mechanically oriented, not service oriented. So he had to learn the service aspect of those things, but it was very much like, how many times do you got to turn the wrench? 3, 4, 4.5? Like it was just very wash, rinse. He could make
Mhm.
that an SOP and programize that so we can consistently deploy success across the board. That's not my skill. But learning you're not the one that's going to be the best. You don't have to do everything. It's not all up to you. You can rely on other people, do less, have the business work better, and people feel fulfilled because they're doing something that brings them joy. That is a hard lesson to learn. So much freedom once you do.
All right. This is going to hurt a lot of people, but 85% of all businesses will never sell.
That's true.
Right? They'll die a slow death until the wheels fall off. And everyone likes to romanticize the exit. What's the part about selling your company that nobody warned you about?
Ooh. Okay, so this doesn't answer the premise. The reason most businesses don't sell is that they're sucky businesses, right?
Mhm.
For a number of reasons, but they're just sucky businesses. It's not a good match to someone. They're a job. The thing that I was unexpected to find when I sold my business was how much my identity was tied up in the work I did.
What do you mean?
As an owner, we spend a lot of time thinking, planning, getting the right people, casting a vision, looking for strategic partners. We're trying to think of ways like, how can the business be better next year or the year after? You're always thinking about this.
Mhm.
Once that's gone, once your brain is alone to like just be with you, like on a couch, it is really weird to have those identity questions and those purpose sort of orientations
I hear this a
stripped
lot.
away.
I hear this a lot. Yeah.
I was not ready for it. I was not ready for how rudderless it is.
Do you feel like you lost your sense of purpose?
Your identity of like
Yeah.
in our culture, in our society, the first thing people ask when they don't know you is like, so what do you do?
What do you do? Yeah.
And I'm like,
Like I'm
here I am.
retired.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
Yeah,
couldn't
I'm
say like at
retired.
40 something like, well, I'm retired.
Yeah.
No one understands
Right.
what that means.
They think like, oh, like military, if like you
Right,
retired from the
no,
military or something,
no.
or like
So it's just so hard to be like, what's the purpose? What's the thing that makes the world around me better? So I had to go through the work of learning, like, turns out I just like helping people,
Yeah.
right? My business grew because I like helping people. My team grew because I
Yeah.
liked helping people.
You solve problems.
I love to do
That's
that.
what a business is, solving
I
problems.
love to
You
do that.
like so your our brains get excited when we see a problem and think, how can I fix this thing?
Yeah. For me, I like tying it to personal stories, right? So one of my favorite clients, it's actually one of my first clients, his whole why of why he built his business was so he could send his kids to a private school that he could never get into as a kid.
Mm,
So that's what he did. He built his truck to the exact size, company to the exact size, so that he could get a house on a lake, so he could have his kids go to the private school that he could never afford as a kid.
nice.
That was what got him going. And so in my office was photos of him on the lake with his kids, going to like their different school functions.
Mhm.
The personal stories of like the things that mattered to him, those got me out of bed. Like I'd work my ass off so that he could live the life he wanted. So learning's like it's more than me just like, hey, this thing doesn't fit in this hole. How can you make this fit? It's more of like, I want the personal connection to feel like their life is better, their quality of life is better, their relationships are better because of something that I'm doing. Dude, that gets me going.
It's so funny. I feel like every person that I've ever talked to on this podcast who sold their company, which is a lot of people, it comes back to the point, all business owners are glorified problem solvers.
Yeah.
That's all we do is we
Yep.
love solving problems. We enjoy the challenge of finding a
Yeah.
problem and then coming up with a solution for it. Then we go and we sell our companies because now we've already made our money.
Yep.
Now we no longer have to do it for compensation
Yep.
because we're theoretically okay.
Yep.
And what do? We go right back to solving more problems, but now
Yep.
we don't care about the money part so much
Right.
anymore. So like, now let me just go solve problems for people for fun.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me just do it gratis,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? To some extent,
Yeah.
right? I cannot begin to tell you. I mean, Jordan has even seen it so many times over and over again, where it's like, I got guys sitting right here, right where you're sitting. They've sold their company and they're like, now I just help people.
There are people who like are financially driven. Like for me, that was never a prime driver, right? It's like once I've got this amount, every everything else doesn't matter, right?
Mhm,
There's no difference to me in a quality of life between 600K a year and 3 mil a year.
mhm.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah. When you're not buying a new Ferrari every month, like what
no,
this
like I
is,
don't
yeah.
care. It's like
Yeah.
it's
I know
paying
what I
for my
mean.
needs. Like my kids are
Mhm.
good. We're healthy.
Yeah. All right, I'm curious about this because you turned your podcast into like an actual business development machine, right?
Mhm.
What was it, a blue collar CEO?
Blue collar CEO.
Blue
Yeah.
collar, yeah, and not just a typical content play. So, what is it that you did differently to turn your podcast into a moneymaker?
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna suck at this question. Uh, My podcast was all about helping provide value to people that were ideal target prospective clients for
Yeah.
me, right? So it was, as a marketing guy, you get kind of put in this little bubble of like, I'm just gonna talk about marketing stuff, right? I'm just gonna talk about AdWords. I'm gonna talk about SEO. I'm gonna talk about pick a thing. Um, Turns out those things they play a role, but the business is much bigger, right? There are other fundamentals of business you have to have dialed in. You can't out market your way to a successful operation.
Mhm.
So for me, the podcast was a format to bring people on. Some of them had different stages of success. So they might be a million, they might be a 10 million, they might be 100 million, they might be a 250 million, whatever. And you could see how they thought. You could see how they solve problems. You could see the obstacles on their way. You could see like the underside, because everyone wants to talk about like the big $100 million exit. No one wants to talk about the points where they felt like they were failing,
Mhm.
right? Or where it almost blew up. No one's to actually understand how they think about solving those problems. And so for me, it was just a way to have conversations almost never about marketing, but talk about how they were able to grow a business that was profitable, more sustainable, like help them get whatever their goal was that they were going for. And then became a resource that I could give our existing clients or prospective clients in the process.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking to someone like, oh, you're trying to get to multi-location and hit 50 mil this year, I have a great conversation you got to pay attention to, right? And I could shoot them the link and to be someone who'd done that 3 years prior. You'd hear about their struggles, the things that they ran up against, the issues they had with people or putting GMs in the multi-locations. It was all super targeted, helpful stuff. But I didn't really lead with an agenda necessarily. I didn't have a try to follow up people with like, I didn't take sponsors. I didn't have any way to say, hey, because you're the podcast, I'm gonna take money for you. I'm not like, it was not a viable cash machine.
Mhm.
It was all about trust and value. Like that's all it was. I wanted to increase my trust standing with clients so they felt like I was more than just a guy who did AdWords.
Mhm.
And at the same time, give them something reliable, trustworthy, valuable that they could If they're trying to hit 5 for the first time or 15 for the first time, I always had something available for them for that next stage of growth that they're growing for. So just being that resource, not providing bullshit information, not providing the success rah, not providing that all you need to do is throw more money at X, Y, or Z or get the software. Here's the hack. Like the actual real, the raw, the gritty, the stuff like that was just awesome. It was a really great product and resource that available.
It's what's a Gary V's term for it? Jab, 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 hook,
100%.
right?
100%.
Or Hormozy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, value, value, value,
Yep.
value, 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 ask. Value, 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 right?
It was all
100 to 1.
it was
100
all
values
giving.
to 1 ask.
It was all
Maybe.
giving.
Oh, and by the way, if you're interested, you can find me here.
Yeah. And I don't what's crazy is I mean, I know for a fact I got clients through the podcast.
Sure.
It was never the goal.
Yeah.
It was always the byproduct.
Yeah, for sure.
But I created relationships with people all over the industry that if I go into any city in the US, I've got a warm reception. I've got
Yeah.
people I can stop in their house.
Yeah.
Like it created these really deep, meaningful like relationships with people that otherwise
Amen.
I would have no reason to interact with them. It's been great.
Amen. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you have to completely unlearn going from agency owner to a business consultant?
This goes back to kind of the same. The thing about coaching businesses, which is both glorious and frustrating, is you can ask questions. At least for me, I like to ask questions. I don't like to tell them what to do. And I can't do it for them. Because for me, part of it is I want companies to learn. I want them to level up. I want them to gain new skills in the process. I don't want them just to take what I say and wash, rinse, repeat it. I want them to learn through trial and error. I want them to be able to have conversations of why that KPI worked or why that behavior didn't work or why this idea thought it was a good idea but failed. I want to navigate that conversation so they can like get the insights and to learn and improve on those insights. So in an agency owner, I can learn from other people. I can learn from their experiences and I could go, cool, there's going to be a pothole around here. Let's solve for this pothole now before it's a problem. And no one knows if it's a problem, right? When I'm coaching, I have to let people find the potholes sometimes.
Mhm.
I have to let them see.
It's like having a kid.
It's 100% like
They're gonna have to fucking run and fall down and scrape their knee and be like, well, now I guess you won't do that anymore.
Yep. And so learning how to know, like, sometimes they'll ask me very direct pointed questions and say, I'm not trying to be coy. We can talk about this in 3 months. Right now, I need you to go through this step and then we'll talk, right? But helping people learn and bang their knee, it's how people learn. And it's more important to me that people grow, become better leaders, build better teams, have more successful companies, more than just like take a manual, mindlessly copy paste it into your business, right? No, I want people to become better through the process, not just become monkeys that follow orders.
Amen. Okay. Talk directly to a blue collar business owner right now doing under $1 million a year. What is Ryan Redding's #1 advice to them on what they should implement today?
Oh, that's hard. If you're under $1 million of business a year, I would say, if you are well under $1 million, if you're 200 or 500 or 700, it might be worth saying, great, focus on SOP, focus on people, focus on exceptional experience with your customers. Like that's probably the biggest thing that's going to get you more. What you want to find is basically once you get to $1 million sustainably, you want to find a solid number 2. That could be a GM, that could be an integrator if you're using EOS language. You want someone to carry the weight of the business once you just cross $1 million. And you can't do that if you're doing all the sales, if you're trying to do all the stuff willy-nilly, if you're always the one doing the work. Find ways to get customers to talk for you. Don't go chasing every magic hack, every magic bullet. Don't go listening to every conference and like getting a list of ideas, whatever that you walk out with, but don't actually implement a thing. Pick a couple things you can implement that will meaningfully move the needle for you. The goal is get another who in the business. Don't focus on how, don't focus on what. Focus on scaling the business where you get another who that can actually carry the weight of the business moving forward. But once you get that 7-figure mark for the first time, you start having options. And it kind of sucks. I feel like a lot of smaller guys, the best options start becoming available after they cross like 5 mil.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like hard because between like 1 and 2.5, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of moving pieces, but there's not a lot of resources that you can actually run with well. And it's almost like the bigger you get, the easier things get.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, let's switch gears. I want to talk about formulas. I want to
Sure.
talk about your formulas, your formulas for success, right? The very nature of the show.
Cool.
So if you're watching this right now, this is the part where you grab your pen, and this is the part where you grab a piece of paper. I want you to write down specific things because I'm going to put Ryan on the spot and he's going to name names. So name the one software tool that if it disappeared tomorrow would totally cripple your business.
Chat GTP right now.
Okay, AI in general or
I
just
was,
chat
yeah, I would say AI
specific?
in general, specifically for my workflow chat, only because I've been building my chat knowledge base for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's pretty damn robust at this point. Claude is freaking awesome. We were talking about that before we hit roll. Um, AI at this point has been such to remove that from an operational capacity sounds baffling. It would be like doing math on paper instead of using Excel or a calculator.
I'm going to pause you because I feel like I need to update this question because there's certain questions I ask everybody, and that's one of them. And lately, everybody's answer is AI.
Okay.
So let me reframe the
Go
question.
for it.
Other than AI,
Okay.
what is the one piece of software tool that would cripple your business without it?
Cripple my business without it. That's a good question. I would say this is going to sound weird. I would say my calendar app.
Okay.
And the only reason I'd say that versus like something like a Service Titan or something else, the calendar app, if everything gets stripped away, it can ensure that I focus on where I need to focus on, who I need to focus on, when I need to focus on, the amount I need to focus on
Yeah.
to actually make progress.
Yeah.
I can create structure if I have a calendar to manage that. You take away the calendar, everything else gets really, really hard, really, really fast. And I could navigate without Slack. I can navigate without Gmail. I can navigate without TikTok. I can navigate with all sorts of things. I can navigate without Service Titan. But you take away the ability to manage my time, which for me is the single most high leverage point of resource that I have. If I can't manage that resource well, I'm screwed.
Okay. Love it. Uh, give me a mentor or coach that has meaningfully moved the needle for you.
Oh, there's so many. Uh,
Give me your top two.
Overplayed Alex Ramosi.
Okay.
The reason I like Alex Ramosi, he has a really good way of making it super concise, really brash, really clear.
The best.
Very, very there. I also like guys like Dan Martell. I think Dan Martell is super bright and thoughtful. There's also guys that are not necessarily, they're kind of more industry agnostic. So like I'm a huge fan of like Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek, I like how he thinks. I like how he navigates, moves around the world.
Philosophically. Yeah.
Yep, philosophically there. Patrick Lencioni, I think, is really good with like team dynamics. So he is famous for the book 5 Dysfunctions of a Team.
Okay.
The whole premise of that is if you have a high performing team, they will outperform a high performing toxic team. Right. So it's like, he's all about the just team health and team dynamics. There's so many. Adam Grant would be another who talks about like a lot about getting ahead by actually helping people. So it's not keeping score. It's not, I'll give this if you give me this. It's a very much like the book Give and Take is a great reference, but there's so many, but you asked for two. I gave you a few more. Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put you on the spot, but you got to name one marketing agency or lead gen platform that has given you the highest ROI, and it cannot be your own company.
Can I say Kick Charge?
Sure.
And the reason I say Kick Charge, you said not my own company. So it's because technically I'm an owner of Kick Charge, right? When a company is well branded, it makes everything else downstream easy.
I agree.
You work with the customer.
I agree.
Lead acquisition, customer retention, trust. It makes employee retention. It makes recruiting easier. So I'll say Kick Charge.
Love it. What's your favorite sales technique that has turned you or your top sales guy into an animal?
Not selling.
Tell me about that.
I will anti-sell people all day long.
Amen. Love it. I'm the same.
And freaking close almost every one of them. I will fire clients by saying, I don't think you're our client anymore. Our new clients coming on are paying X, which is like 3 times the rate. Trying to get rid of this client, they'll still stay in the books. Like I will anti-sell people all day long. And it is one of the best ways of navigating this.
I love it. I couldn't agree with you more. All right, let's go to the lightning round.
Go for it.
Okay. Simple questions. If you don't like it, just tell me to skip. You don't have to give me super long answers unless if you feel like it. What's your most embarrassing business failure that you can laugh about now?
I would say naming my business DP Marketing Services.
It's a really goddamn good one.
Yeah.
That is a really good one.
Yeah. That was a
God damn, oh, that is an exceptionally good one. Okay,
That was a
I think
donate.
you win. I think of all the people I've asked that question to,
There you go.
I think congratulations, buddy.
See, self-awareness.
I think you win that one. Okay.
Self-awareness.
Okay. What business guru do you think is completely overrated?
I'm gonna say John Maxwell. I'll also say probably Tony Robbins.
Oh, I agree with you on the Tony Robbins thing.
John Maxwell, and that's for different reasons, but Tony Robbins is up there. Anyone who's like their path to success is go to the conference, buy their book,
Yeah.
join the workshop,
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
six thing. This like at some point it feels like Rich Dad Poor Dad, where
Yeah,
you're keeping their machine alive more than
that's right. That's right. What's the dumbest thing you've ever spent money on?
oh, can it be dumb and awesome at the same time?
Sure.
For my 40th, I decided I was focused on wanting to do experiences instead of getting things. So I rented a fighter jet in Florida.
Fuck yeah, that's like wait, that's a
So
I don't think that's dumb at all. I think that's a
it's a
really
silly thing to talk about. Like, yeah, I got a fighter jet, but dude, it was badass. It was the most fun.
Okay, I love that one. I love that one. Okay, be honest. Has a plumber or an HVAC tech ever given you life advice that was better than any business book you've ever read?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And what's it's funny. I would use different language now, but one of my first clients early on was a plumber. I didn't target plumbers, right? He just one of the dozens of companies that we worked with. He was the one to tell me, dude, stop wasting your time working on bakers and chiropractors and self storage and roofers, and like just focus on people like me. We have the money. We don't know what we're doing. We'll pay you to do it for us. And that was the single best thing. The idea of like riches in niches, right? That was
Mhm.
like this. It was a hard pill to swallow. Spot on.
Love it. What's your guilty pleasure that would surprise your followers?
Oh, that's a good question. Um, guilty pleasure. I like The Fly. A lot of people don't know that. I fly out of Centennial, which is not far from here.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that is one of the things I like to do. Jump in a plane, go get $100 hamburger somewhere. Um, it is how my brain turns off. It is how I just enjoy and relax. It is it is very indulgent,
That sounds really cool.
but it's a lot of fun.
That sounds really cool. All right, if you had to go work in a blue collar trade tomorrow, which trade are you picking and why?
Dude, I would be fired so fast. I'd be fired so fast. Um, if I was working a blue collar trade, you say tomorrow, I don't want to do HVAC because we're coming up on summer. I would maybe either do I'd maybe do garage door. Uh,
Fascinating.
yeah, our common friend Tommy Mello like has demonstrated like it is a great industry for disruption. People can be hyper successful. And it's compared to something like HVAC or crawling in people's attics, like it's easy business. I've got another friend of mine who has made a lot of money and been very happy digging in the dirt. So he bought an excavator and he just digs up for whatever else people need to dig up because it's not going to be high urgency. It's not going to have to do with a lot of employees.
Mhm.
So there might be get a giant thing that digs big holes in the ground and just have fun listening to music all day.
Love it. I like
You
that
know?
one.
Yeah.
All right, last question. What is the best thing that you've ever spent money on for your personal life?
Best thing. This is going to be weird. My divorce.
We were just talking about Louis C.K. earlier.
Yeah.
We were talking about how like marriage is just a larval stage for divorce because that's when you really find happiness.
Yeah.
My wife and I joke about it all the time.
It sounds weird. I don't mean it to sound dark, but when you have the wrong people in your life,
Yeah, absolutely.
it clouds everything.
Of
It makes everything feel heavier. When you are able to get the right people in your life with the right energy, like it is a game changer. So I don't divorce is not something to take lightly. Don't wish it on anyone. It's a shitty process.
Yeah.
Probably the best investment.
But yeah, that's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
Ryan Redding, this has been a pleasure having you on.
Dude, this
sir.
was awesome to hear.
I want people to be able to find you online. So let's talk about you personally. What's your favorite? Where are you most present in the socials?
I'm probably going to be somewhere between TikTok and Facebook almost all the time. So Facebook, they can find me at YN Wedding is my personal handle.
Mhm.
TikTok, I'm not there personally, but my coaching practice is Eightfold Advantage. If they do Eightfold Advantage anywhere, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, wherever, they'll find me there.
I never even asked you what the hell does Eightfold Advantage do?
Eightfold Advantage we do coaching to help businesses grow without like, a lot of times when we try to grow a business, it's like work harder, grind harder. And it's like,
Yeah.
I want people to love the business that they're in. So we help them build teams that actually want to make the business run better, help them be more performant, like actually have better performance, better culture, hit better goals. Like it's just a way to make the business not kill their life and grind their soul to dust.
What's like, because people are going to want to know, and I'm not going to ask you what your charge, but like, what type of client are you typically looking for? Small, medium, large, like all the above? Like, who is your ideal client?
The way that the process works, if they so from a cash flow standpoint, like companies that make 5 mil or more can easily sort of fund that. Makes sense. If you're under a mil, it's really lean margins to make those investments. Really, I think it's about the people. So if they have a team of probably at least 11 quality people on their team, we can probably do a lot of really good fun to make the business fun and enjoyable for the owner again. If it's smaller than that, all the work, all the stuff gets piled up on the owner's plate.
Mhm.
Like their life gets sucky fast. So this goes back to like when you're a smaller guy, it's just the options are limited. But I've got clients that are 120 mil, I've got clients that are 50 mil, I've got clients that are 10 mil. All of them, like the framework totally works and totally scales with them. But they have the people to do it. They've got the cash flow to be able to justify it. If you don't have the people, it's really hard.
And if you're not on TikTok, because I'm barely on TikTok, how else would people find your company?
So they can find it on TikTok, they can find it on Instagram, they can find it on LinkedIn, they can find it on my website, eightfoldadvantage.com. I'll take them to the website.
That's easy.
Eightfold Advantage, just about anywhere.
That's easy.
Find me.
Ryan, this is awesome having you on, man.
Dude, thanks for having
Thank you so much. I really
me.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me into your home. This is great.
Absolutely. My pleasure.